and welcome to What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, hosted by me, Fiona. This week, I'm joined by my friends David and Sam for Sins, the award-winning supernatural post-apocalyptic role-playing game created by Miguel Tankard and published by First Falling Leaf. A high-octane, darkly driven game of cinematic proportions, Sins explores the consequences which come from wielding great and terrible power in an unforgiving world fraught with danger. At its heart, Sins is a narrative role-playing game, specifically focused on telling the stories of powerful entities known as nemissaries, reborn individuals back from the dead with a wealth of mysterious powers, who have risen once more to fight an eldritch hive mind of the undying, known as the Brood. If you want to know more, the core rulebook and introductory adventure used in this one-shot are available to buy both in physical and PDF form from the Sins RPG website. That's www.sinsrpg.uk. I'll include a link to it on the What Am I Rolling website and in this episode's show notes. So here's a brief guide to the main game mechanics in Sins. Sins is powered by the Hope engine, which is a versatile, robust game system using d6s, or six-sided dice. At the heart of the system is the dice pool, which represents a character's attributes and skills and is used to overcome various challenges and tasks. A dice pool is expressed as an XY statement, where X stands for the number of dice in the dice pool, and this is equal to a character's attribute number plus 1, and Y stands for the number needed on any given dice to score a success, and this is based on a character's skill number. When making a check, the player notes the appropriate attribute and skill, and then roll the dice accordingly. For example, in doing a prowess crafts check, Lawrence has a prowess pool of 5, and a craft skill of plus 4. So, Lawrence will roll 5 dice, with each die scoring a 4 or more, resulting in a success. Most actions will have a difficulty of 1. This means that if any die comes up with a success on a check, the character will succeed. Harder tasks will have a difficulty of 2 or higher, and characters must get at least that many successes in order to succeed. Rolling a 6 means the dice explode, and players may re-roll them to see if they get additional successes. The other two mechanics I will quickly go into are drama points and health. To help characters stay alive, they have access to a limited pool of drama points. These can be spent to increase the odds of any given action in their favour. When a character is about to undertake an action, they can spend the drama point to make that action a dramatic action. They will gain 1 additional dice to their pool for that roll, and they will need 1 less on each die to get a success. Characters can get hurt as a result of combat, the environment, and failing at certain checks. Each character has a vitality pool, which indicates their health. The vitality pool is split into 3 sections, represented how wounded a character is. Light vitality represents minor injuries and flesh wounds that have no specific effects on the character. Wounded vitality represents serious but not immediate dangerous injuries. A character who's lost 1 or more wounded health is at a -1 dice pool for all actions attempted. Mauled vitality represents grievous injuries which are potentially deadly. A character who's lost 1 or more mauled health has the difficulty of all actions increased by 1, in addition to the wounded vitality penalty. Whilst I'm not going to go into too much detail about the combat rules for this overview, the main thing to note is the tagging mechanic. When you take an action in combat, it normally forces another character out of sequence, and this is known as tagging. When you are tagged by another character, your choice of response is limited to actions which realistically be a response to that attack. So for example, if you were attacked by someone with a knife and they were already very close to you, you could only respond to being tagged by that person by either fleeing or attacking them as a reaction. You could not, for example, attack someone else as a response, as that does not involve the character doing the tagging. As all 3 of us were new to Sins, we decided to go with the introductory adventure, Dead City, and use some of the pre-generated characters which came with it. So, quick heads up here, the next couple of episodes will most definitely have spoilers for this starter adventure. So if you plan on playing it, just pause the episode for now and come back when you're ready. One last thing before we begin. Naturally, there are times in this one-shot where the players and myself, mostly myself, get the rules wrong or forget something plot-wise. Whilst we always endeavour to stick to the rules wherever possible, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, and what matters most is that everyone enjoys themselves. So, with all that out of the way, let's play Sins.
Alright, so we're going to play Sins, and I've been through the basics with you before, but I'll just go over it again. When we're making a check, I'm going to ask you to use the attribute pool on your sheets as indicated. So the dice pool is represented by sort of the attributes at the top, and there's 6 of them. There's body, conviction, cunning, passion, reason, and prowess. So that's your sort of dice pool that you'll use for the roll. So that's the first part, and then in the second part, I'll ask you to use a skill. And there's 16 skills, which I won't go through just now, but you'll get to that skill, and it will tell you what your rating is in that skill. And that's the number you need to get on your dice pool when you roll it to get a success. And that's sort of the basics for going on now. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for having us on your podcast. Fiona.
Oh, this is a more magical moment for me because I know you've been on it before, but I, David, haven't.
Thank you for hosting, Sam. Several months ago, various governments from across the globe revealed that a great number of highly unusual meteors were likely to impact with the world. Many believed that these strange objects were in fact pieces of dark matter. Regardless, the end result was the same. Panic, rioting and looting spread across the globe. You, like everyone else, feared for your lives and waited with anxious hearts for the world's governments to find a solution. In the end, technology and innovation failed, and the shards began their descent into what has become known as the Black Rain. The apocalypse never materialised, however. All of the chaos and all the attempts at survival were irrelevant in the end. The shards fell relatively harmlessly to Earth, becoming little more than a curiosity and an object of media speculation. In light of these events, you and your friends have gathered at the Blue Phoenix pub in North Greenwich to have a drink to celebrate surviving the end of the world. So this is like a typical sort of old man pub, like your local sort of hangout place when you guys have come after work or visiting friends or birthday parties, etc. The main thing to note about this place is the bad carpet, the overuse of sort of stained wood and everything, and behind the bar is a TV with sort of the news that's going on. And when you guys come in, either together or with other people, you can see on the news there the protests going on currently about the Black Rain, which has been going on for several weeks now in Parliament Square. It's been several months now, and the government has not been truthful about what was going on with the Black Rain. So you can see that sort of going on, and you are both aware of this. It's something that's sort of, whether it's part of your jobs that you've had to learn about this stuff, or if it's sort of in your sort of passing social media circles, you do know of this Black Rain stuff that's happening and the protests around it. Both of you have arrived and you're waiting for your other friends, so do you want to introduce yourselves?
I am Thomas Farrow, a ruggedly handsome, powerfully built individual, usually dressed in a simple and efficient manner, favouring jeans and t-shirt. He's kind of an ex-cop, enjoys honest competitions such as football, darts and so on. And he has had a hard time with the rioting centred around the Black Rain, and is honestly just glad it's all hopefully coming to a close. So kind of ex-cop. You've done these fabulous illustrations in here, NYPD, but I suppose that's GPD.
Metropolitan Police, will say.
GPD.
So yeah, you could be an ex-cop if you want, or if you can say like you still work in the police force in some respect, whether it's a consultancy sort of job perhaps, or you just decided to take extended absent leave for whatever reason. But you have a bit more free time now to spend with your friends, and this used to be a local haunt for you back in the days before you were a police officer. So maybe, I think one of the girls probably suggested, let's all meet back, Facebook event like end of the world at Blue Phoenix, heart, private event for 4 people. But that's you, Thomas, so good to see you. And what about you?
I am Lawrence Farrow. I have the misfortune of being Thomas's younger half-brother. I'm a short man, handsome in a cute, roguish sort of way, with distinctive blue eyes and dyed black hair. I dress in sort of loose, casual clothing, and I always have an air of fun around me. I'm not particularly arsed about the Black Rain. It sort of came across my radar in social media and working at various bars and so on and so forth. I'm generally a good-natured person, but I tend not to care about the law.
Mm-hmm. And actually, the reason you know the Blue Phoenix so well is because you do work here every so often. You've worked a couple of different bars, getting by on your various job opportunities, I guess. But you do know the manager here is an older man called Mr. Simmons, who's been very kind to you and sort of maybe have let you slide a little bit when you've been late to work every so often. Obviously has not told your brother Thomas about these times because he knows there is tension there. But you two have both arrived and you were waiting for your friend. We'll go with her. You're waiting for Jessica. And Jessica is, again, a stunningly attractive young woman. You are all very beautiful people. I love it.
Just like in real life.
Yeah. You know her, Thomas, because... no, you don't know her. Oh, you do. It's basically... I should have read these before.
We're on nodding terms.
Yeah, like she knows a few other people. It's friends of friends. She's got sort of an uneasy relationship with you, Lawrence, again.
All your relationships are uneasy.
Like he knows, like she knows a friend of yours, Jack, who's currently can't make it to the party, unfortunately. So, but she's sort of the one that organised this thing. Like she wanted to make sure that, we'd check in with each other and make sure she's one of those sort of people. Anyway.
Highly organised.
Mm.
Highly organised and making sure, very popular social butterfly. You can tell from a picture. But... how are you guys? Are you guys going to come to... are you arriving together?
No, we are not arriving together.
So who arrives first, then?
You've probably been drinking there since midday?
I would argue that I'm probably going to be late.
Okay.
I mean, it strikes me that you're the on-time one, brother.
Okay, so I'll be at the bar having a whiskey.
Whiskey?
Yeah.
Yeah, the barmaid, and actually another friend of yours, Rose, sort of comes over and starts saying, how are you, Thomas?
I'm doing all right, taking
Yeah.
a bit of a break.
Well, that's good to hear. I've not seen you around recently, and obviously Lawrence doesn't speak much of you. Yeah, sorry. He's supposed to be here soon, isn't he? You guys are meeting up.
Yes. Yeah, is he bad at the moment?
Yeah, it's Lawrence, I'm afraid. You know how he is.
Yes.
Yes. But here, and she starts pouring you, and she sort of suss you out, so whiskey, and she sort of gives you a good mid-range whiskey. She doesn't want to go for the good stuff just yet. Well, she knows what you like with Lawrence, so give me the good stuff.
It would be a waste.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
And then I assume at some point...
Rose, pint of something lagery, please. Good God, you would not believe the come down. Brother, how are you? Didn't see you there.
You were looking almost directly at me.
Oh, you're looking
Ruggedly handsome.
blonde as ever.
Yes, and you're looking shaky.
Quieter. You would not believe how much socialising I did last night. I'm very tired.
Rose comes over and gives you a pint of water, and it's like...
Is there any chance there's vodka in that?
Not to be sober up. Mr. Simmons wants a word with you later.
Oh, God, what does he want now?
I think it's an extra shift. As people can't get in from out of town, she sort of gestures up to the TV, and again you see the protests are stopping, like in Tottenham Court Road, and sort of blockading tubes in. She's like, yeah, it's getting pretty bad out there. So
Having fun during the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. Everyone needs to calm down. We're in a pub. Have a drink. Whiskey. It's a bit early for a whiskey, isn't it, brother?
When I'm meeting you, I need something.
Oh, you wound me.
Good.
Right, where's everyone else? Not that this hasn't been wonderful as ever.
I don't know. Jessica organised the Facebook group.
Where is she? And it's just it's not 2 words, brother. It's just Facebook.
Oh.
And no one uses Facebook. It's for old people. I'm
an old person.
Where is Jessica?
10 minutes go by, she still hasn't turned up.
So we're just sitting in awkward silence.
Rose comes back and do you want a proper drink? I'll get Mr. Simmons, but you need to
Yes, I will look normal when he shows up.
Okay.
Thank you.
She turns to you, Thomas, and she says, I don't suppose you could help me out a bit later. I just need a favour. And she sort of looks at you sheepishly, Lawrence. Can you walk me home?
Sure. What do you feel?
Oh, and again, looks up at the rioting that's happening on TV. I'm worried, how these things get out of hand a little bit. Looting and stuff. I just appreciate it's only 20 minutes walk my flat, so.
No problem. Yes, of course.
Thank you, Thomas.
It's nothing more than that.
Make a cunning perception check. So that is a dice pool of your cunning plus 1. So what's your dice pool for that?
So I'm averagely cunning, so that's 3 plus 1.
So that's 4.
4 dice.
And then what's your perception?
Got 2 squares filled in, so that's plus 5.
So yes, you need need to get a plus 5 on the dice to get a success. There's 1 success there.
1 success.
1 success. When you say nothing more than that, her eyes sort of shift and she gets really sort of bright red, even more so than what we'd call Fiona red. But she sort of dashes away and starts cleaning the rest of the bar.
You should have texted ahead. He'd have brought the handcuffs. What? Oh, come on. She's fancied you forever. Christ, you can't be that blind. She's pretty.
Yes.
What's wrong with you? Have some fun, for God's sake.
Sorry,
It's the end of the world.
Things have been tough with the riots. I'm sorry.
We don't normally do this. This is strange. Okay. Are you all right?
Yes. Fine. I'm just bottomed out of this, really.
As you guys have this very awkward conversation, a news reporter comes on the TV, sort of cuts across the normal viewing, and she sort of talks about breaking news. And there are now new pictures of actual rioting happening in Parliament Square. And you see glimpses of people pushing against the police with the riot shields. And in the background, you actually see what has been come to known as Parliament Square's Black Rain Shard, that's sort of right in the centre of the protest square. But again, you're very used to this. It's been like that for months, and just maybe a barrier, like a cordon off around it. But before she can sort of talk about it a bit more, again, sort of talks about the actions of the mayor, and saying the Prime Minister is going to make an announcement later today. You see a man come in and change the channel to a sportsman. Lawrence, you recognise this man immediately. It is Mr. Simmons. He goes, Lawrence. Ah.
Hello.
Having a free one on us, are you?
What? No, tab has been set up. Mm-hmm. I will pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Or you could work for it, Lawrence. I need you to do an extra shift for me tonight.
Oh, tonight?
Yes, tonight.
You see, now that I would, obviously I would, but Mr. Simmons, you see, my brother and I, we actually have plans tonight to go and visit,
The game.
Yes, the game.
Make a passion panache roll for me, please.
All right, so that's 3 dice
plus
panache. So my panache.
So remember, it'll be 3 dice in your passion plus 1.
So my passion is
2.
2, yeah.
So you plus 3, and then
my panache is plus 4. So I've got to get.
You got to get 4
with the 3.
All right, fine.
That's 1 success.
1 success. Mr. Moon sort of stares at you, really sort of goes, Lawrence, okay. I'm just struggling a little bit because, the disturbance is happening, people aren't coming in, but if you've got a game with your brother, I know how well you get on with him.
Well, yes, I mean,
look at his face,
family is everything to me, and we've been looking forward to some time, haven't we, brother?
He's lying again about the game, but I would like to spend some time with him, if that's all right with you, Mr. Simmons.
You are the fucking worst.
Actually, maybe you could do me some help then as well, if Lawrence is not helping around the bar. You used to have some experience with all this sort of stuff, and again, sort of points at the TV and goes, I changed the channel, but the rioting, yeah? You're used to that. Just in case things get a bit heated here tonight, could you, and sort of looks at you could just, level some heads. Not violence, I condone violence at all costs, but, be a officiating presence, you know what I'm saying?
Nice spot of police brutality, brother.
I'm Simmons, I'm here on my day off, but if things get bad, I'll see what happens.
Thank you. That's all I need. It's all right. Rose, make sure these gentlemen are well watered, eh? But make sure you charge them as well. And he sort of toodles off.
You couldn't have just said we were going to the game.
The man pays you. Why would you lie to him?
I work. That's why he pays me. He's not a sugar daddy.
You work. How hard do you work?
I show up, sometimes on time. I occasionally will work the whole thing through. I don't always steal food.
Better be an honest crap worker than a dishonest crap worker.
God, you're so boring.
Yes, I am. Another drink?
Are you buying?
Yes, I'll get this one.
Whiskey.
Rose comes back with required drinks for you, and as she sets them down, the double doors open again, and in walks Jessica. Oh my god, I'm so sorry I'm late, boys. And she goes, mwah, mwah, Lawrence, and mwah, mwah, Thomas. And she goes, oh, just a gin and tonic for me, Rose, thanks. And sort of sits down next to you, and as she comes in as well, it looks like her Uber driver's coming in as well. And he sort of goes and sits down in another corner, and you can hear him actually both of you make a cunning perception check for me, please. And that'll be one difficulty as well.
By one difficulty, what?
But you need to succeed in it. Alright, so I got 2! You got 2, so you get...
I also got 2.
You got 2. Thomas, you got a 6, and 6 explodes. You can re-roll it again to see if you get any more successes. No. So 2 successes each. Whilst you are sort of distracted with the whirlwind, as you know, as Jessica, you do hear the taxi driver sort of talking, complaining loudly that there's just more chaos happening in like Blackwell Tunnel, and just why can't people be happy that the world didn't end? And clearly is sort of being very disgruntled about the protests. And as you sort of are talking, and Jessica obviously mostly talks about herself, the bar gets quite busy. Like a couple of people come in, like a couple of people who'd clearly been at the protests and escaped early from the protests. And it's about 5:30 in the afternoon now. And Mr. Simmons comes back over again, and it's just about to ask you something, Thomas. And then I need you both to make me cunning perception rolls for me, please. Ooh. Again, difficulty 1. Actually, Jessica needs to do it as well.
Fail.
Nothing?
A6, so I re-roll that, don't I?
Yes, 1 success so far.
Oh, another 6.
Success. Roll again.
That's a 5.
Is that still a success, though?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's 3 successes you've got. So no successes for you, Thomas, and 3 successes for Lawrence.
I can see time immemorial.
I'm being deafened by Jessica.
Jessica also gets 3 successes. That's pretty impressive for Jessica. So there is a moment. Thomas, you're distracted by Mr. Simmons coming in. Lawrence, it's almost like spidey sense. You feel something, and you see sort of the lights in the room sort of flash a bit, and you hear the sound of the siren going as the police cruiser crashes through the front window into the pub, ruining the front entrance and hurling a police officer from the passenger seat through the windscreen into the bar. Those who succeeded, you managed to dive out the way. Both you and Jessica it's suddenly like you just split, and she dives behind the bar, but you go off to one side. Thomas and Simmons are sort of caught in sort of the middle of it. He doesn't hit you, but the spray of the sort of the flashing shards and debris, you take 1 damage from that. How many vitality do you have on that, by the way?
4 base.
Nice. Good.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lawrence is not a strong boy.
I am tissue paper compared to this man.
Yes.
So
dull, boring, and bulletproof.
It's all the drugs, man.
As the dust settles, however, it becomes immediately apparent that several people have been hurt by it. There is a lady that got caught by as the car came in, and now she's pinned next to her sort of table. A few people sort of start screaming. The pub itself is a complete mess. There's dust, there is debris everywhere, and as I said before, the police officer that's thrown from the passenger seat on the floor in front of you. What do you guys do?
Lawrence, help the woman. I'll check the policeman.
Yeah, sure, right. I run over and do as he says.
So you're going to help the person? Roll a reason medicine check, please.
Reason. 1, 2, 3, 4 medicine. So that's good. Right, I need 5s. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's 1 6.
That's 1 6. So 1 success.
Okay, so that's 1 success.
So you manage, even though you're like you sort of all fingers and thumbs trying to pull this woman out, and it's not a delicate matter, but you manage to sort of push her out.
Correct.
And although she's very bruised, she's very grateful that you managed to help. And her sort of boyfriend also pulls her out and sort of says, "Thank you so much. I was in shock or whatever." It feels like you've done a good job there, Lawrence.
Thanks.
Very unlike your character. You, however, Thomas. The scene that greets you is horrific. A police officer lies on the floor of the pub, covered in blood, his body possessing several deep lacerations, and from the looks of it, broken bones. At a quick glance, he appears quite dead. The driver is in no better condition and appears to have sustained horrific injuries to her face, shoulders, and arms. I need you to roll me a conviction resolve, difficulty of 2. This scene is so awful. You can see bones poking out of this man's body.
Throw up in front of my arsehole brother.
We will see, though.
Yes.
That'll be fine.
So what have you got?
So 2, one of which is a 6, and I roll the 6 again. I get another 6, so that's 3. Roll the 6 again. Right, so 3.
Nice. Yeah, you managed just to hold it all together. Again, you've seen some times. Well, that's the thing. This whole scene has shook you because you're used to sort of the riot situation and those sort of protests where there is a tension there and you're ready for it. This completely caught you off guard. And so seeing this sort of mangled body and then the woman in the car, you've managed to sort of like hold yourself together for that sort of almost slow-mo amount of time where things are happening around you. And you can sort of hear Lawrence is sort of helping this woman, and you can see Jessica actually starting to like try and help other people as well, less successfully because she's sort of like, dust. As you step through the mess left of the destroyed pub front, you sort of see what's in the back of the police cruiser is the other occupant. In the back seat is a woman who's been clearly handcuffed, and her front is quite literally covered in blood. Her jaw is broken. She seems to have suffered repeated gunshots to her torso and head. So it's quite clear at this point to you, even with your day off, even with your limited time out of the force, that the people in the car are clearly quite dead. Nothing could have survived that crash.
There's bullet holes to the passenger at the back.
To the occupant at the back, yeah.
Does it look like she was shot from the front of the car?
Make a reason medicine check.
Reason?
I'm guessing you're getting a bit closer to the car as well. So.
And medicine, okay. Got to be 6. I'll get a 6.
We go 6, okay, let's see.
No.
Very hard to tell. She is covered in blood. Whatever happened, it was so many, like, just peppered. Mr. Simmons sort of tries to calm out. Amongst the din and confusion, Mr. Simmons shouts for people to calm themselves down and that the ambulance and police have been notified. Just as the pub seems to be settling down a bit thanks to your actions, both of your attention is drawn to the officer thrown clear of the car. With a sickening, tearing sound, he begins to move, twitching and convulsing on the floor. A moment later, he lets out a sharp, almost distorted cry of pain and slowly tries to rise to his feet. His arms still broken and his body still lacerated in multiple places. Despite his injuries, he clearly seems to be breathing. What do you do?
What? He looked, what?
He was definitely dead.
Oh God, I grabbed the nearest stool, just grab it.
You grabbed it,
I grab a... What's snooker bat?
Pool cue.
Snooker bat? Yeah, you've got those.
Are you alright?
Fucking Shaun of the Dead. You said, all right. So you sort of stood there with these weapons.
Yeah.
And shouting at this. I'll say, are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a sort of stunned crowd sort of gathering slightly, seeing this man.
Step back.
Yeah, step back. So, none of you are doing anything. You were not going towards this man. You were just sort of, you for some reason picked up weapons.
Yeah, I am staying at least like a couple arms length away.
Okay.
When the dead walk, we've watched enough movies. My brothers we have our differences, but
sure,
we're not averse to popular culture.
No. If anything, I'm slightly...
If that's not metagaming.
No?
I'd say I'm more versed to popular culture, and I am not going nowhere near it.
Oh, that's a shame. She didn't get any successes. Jessica stares at you both. What are you doing? He clearly needs help. And goes towards the man.
Can I grab her?
Sure, make a... Ooh. So you can either do a body fight check or a prowess athletics check. I'll let you choose which one you want to do. And she will do an opposed one.
I will do a body fight check, if that's alright with you.
Yeah, fine by me.
So that's...
Is there a fight?
That's going to be 5...
Oh, there is a fight, sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
That is 2 successes, and one of them is... 2 5s, and I've got a 6 as well, so I'm going to re-roll that. Okay, yeah, so that's just going to be 3 successes in total.
She only got 2. So you managed to sort of grab her arm. Are you putting down the stool to grab her arm, or are you just sort of...
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put it down, aren't I? So, okay, yeah, I grab her arm, pull her back, go, he was dead, don't...
What are you talking about?
Brother, tell her, what did you see?
He was clearly dead.
What?
Came through the windscreen of the car.
But he's standing now. He's clearly screaming in pain. And as you guys are talking, another patron of the bar sort of goes, "Are you all right, sir?" And as he goes towards him, a heartbeat later, the officer turns to the young man, shrieks and lunges forward, tackling the young man and biting into his throat. The young man falls and the officer begins to strike him with his fists, screaming, ripping and tearing in a frenzy. By the time you get over this shock and talking to Jessica, the young man is clearly quite dead.
Fucking Jessica.
The officer stops, snapping his attention to you three, hisses and readies to lunge again. I'm going to roll for initiative.
Hey.
So, as I was talking to you guys before, initiative is a cunning perception check, and you need to let me know who has the highest number of successes.
So I have 2 successes on that one.
I have 1.
So it'll be Lawrence, then Thomas, Jessica. I forgot I've got Jessica on me.
Go on, Jessica.
Come on, Jessica.
You millennial.
Stop it. What? So what did you get again, Lawrence? Was that 2 successes?
2 successes.
All right, Jessica goes after you, then Thomas, then the officer. All right, Lawrence. So you've got a choice here.
Yes.
Currently, you're not engaged with this creature. It's within combat distance, so you can attack it with a ranged weapon or whatever you can have on the bar. You can go up to it with a melee weapon if you find one. You can also choose to evade, so if the creature tries to attack you, you would then get some sort of advantage on the opposed check you need to make, etc.
Yeah.
The main thing that's different with this RPG compared to the other RPGs is that this initiative order can change. So, for example, you're going first. If you try to attack this creature, you do something what's known as tagging. So they have to make a reaction to you right then and there.
Okay.
So they go out of order.
Okay.
If someone then goes and attacks that creature again, say Thomas does, they have to respond to that, but at disadvantage. And then when it gets down to their turn, they've had their go, and so the combat starts again. So if the creature goes first, for example, and tags you, you'd have to respond to that, and then your go is gone as well. And again, when you're responding to stuff, it's sort of limited as well. So if you're trying to defend yourself from something attacking you, it makes sense that you're doing like a evade attempt or a close combat one rather than a ranged one.
Yeah.
You can do it, but it would be at disadvantage.
Yeah. Standard logic applying.
Exactly. So what would you like to do?
So this thing's running at me, right?
It's currently about to lunge at you, but you sort of get that sort of reflex in, your bartender reflex.
Great.
It's ready for you.
I'm going to pick up said dropped stool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to swing at it.
Would you say it's a large or small improvised weapon?
It says chair legs is a small.
Yeah.
But, entire chairs.
Entire chairs say
Super. So you see that underneath that, it says pool, body minus 1 fight. So it'll be the pool minus 1 of your fight.
Okay, right. So that will be 5 dice again. So instead of 5s, I've got to get 6s.
Yes, correct.
That is 1 6.
Excellent.
Do I re-roll that again
Yeah.
for this one?
Yes,
Cool.
you do.
No, just the 1 6.
Just the 1 6.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's 1 success. It has to respond, so it's going to try and evade it in some way. Gets a 6. When it's a draw, successes. Mm-hmm. So I've got 1 success, you 1 success. No damage happens. So you throw this chair at this creature, and it sort of ducks out the way almost inhumanly fast. No damage is taken, but it is out of its turn currently.
Great.
So that's your action. Jessica goes next. Seeing that a fight is about to happen, and knowing what you're like, Lawrence, she's going to hide. So she's going to do a cunning stealth check. See if she can hide behind the bar. Ooh, she's going to get a 6, though. Which she doesn't. She sort of tries to get behind the bar a little bit, but her hand sort of slips and she sort of breaks some glasses that are on the bar, and the creature sort of turns to her and sees what she's doing, knowing where she is. Thomas, it is your go.
Okay, from writing police background, I'll pick up a stool in one hand. That's kind of like a shield, and my pool cue in the other side, the otherwise known as the snooker bat.
Yes.
And just kind of charge into him and whack him over the head with it.
Excellent. It's a large improvised weapon, would you not say, this pool cue?
I think altogether, what with me carrying the stool at the same time, yes.
Yes. Okay, so then, roll body minus 1 fight.
Okay, so +5.
Yeah. 1 5, and then the creature has to go again.
What was the -1 fight?
So the minus 1 fight is the difficulty. So it goes up. The difficulty will go
So
up.
normally you would need only a 4, but because it's -1, then you need to get a 5. It's like I would normally only need a 5.
I mean-
So I didn't actually win.
You didn't win. That's fine.
No, you got a singular 5.
No, no.
Yeah,
I think
but I forgot the -1 fight, so
it's actually a 6.
I need to get 6.
So yeah, so I don't have to roll for the creature for that sense. Oh no, I do actually, because you were close combat. But it's at disadvantage though, so it gets 1 minus to its pool. Oof. Yeah, it still manages to hit you. As you're getting closer to it, you try and whack it, and it just breaks instantly. It's clearly an old cue or some sort. This creature sort of turns and sort of scratches out at you and catches the side of your head. It's sort of nails digging into the side of your head. You take 3 damage from this as it sort of claws at the side of your head.
Jesus.
So if that would take me up to my equivalent base.
Passes over into the next one, which is wounded.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not out. Until all of them is taken,
Okay.
you're not out.
My base is done.
So now that you're in wounded, remember it's going to be -1 to your dice pool, all checks from now on, so you won't have that +1.
Jeez.
It is then the officers go, but because you have both tagged the creature, it doesn't get its proper go.
Okay.
So it goes back to the top of the round. Lawrence, what are you doing? You've just seen this creature sort of tear at Thomas's head.
And no one hits him but me. Mm-hmm. Do I still have the stool?
You do.
Okay, right. I'm going to crack him again.
Crack him again, go for it.
Hopefully while he's distracted. So I need 6s. Jesus. Oh, 2 6s.
Hey.
I get to re-roll it.
Yeah, you do. It also got 2 6s.
Oh, nothing else.
Nothing else. And it got 3 successes. You try and crack it. It looks like it doesn't take anything at all and turns around and scratches you. Only the barest bits of you. It just grabs you. You take 2 damage.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to Wounded.
I am also wounded.
Jessica, she has a look around and she sees the police car and noticing the person in the back, she runs to the police car seeing if she can find any weapons.
That'd be clever.
Yeah, 2 successes. She pulls out a handgun and she sees that there's 3 rounds in it left, but she can't do anything else on her turn. Thomas, what would you like to do?
Okay, well, it's gone so well so far. Mm-hmm. Can I see that Jessica's run for a gun?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and just push him to the floor with the shield, just like trying to topple him over.
Yeah, absolutely. Make the same sort of a check though. So body -1 fight.
Okay, because I'm now in the wounded category, I don't get my +1 to body.
Yeah.
So I'm down to 4 dice.
Yeah.
-1, so I need to get 6.
Yeah.
Nope.
Maybe you manage to push him to the floor, but it is a real struggle. You know, if you let go, this creature's going to be straight up at you. And let's see if it does anything. No, it's sort of trying to claw at you, but the stool is in the way. It's like trying to get through. Not so good. But again, it would be the officer's go, but because you both tagged him, and it would have got disadvantage, but it didn't work anyway, it doesn't get its proper go. Lawrence, back to you.
Okay. Do I see that Jessica has grabbed the gun?
Mm-hmm. You do.
And the creature is currently pinned on the ground, is that right?
It looks like so, but Thomas is really struggling to keep it down. It's taking his full force to keep this creature on the ground. It doesn't look like it's doing any damage to it.
Okay, I want to run over to Jessica, grab the gun,
Easy.
run over, and while it's on the ground, I want to put the barrel against the thing's forehead
Yep.
and fire.
Fire it. So, if you look at the handgun, it is pool, prowess, marksmanship.
Prowess.
Cool. Melee range.
I'm all right at prowess. Prowess is a thing that works for me.
And the other thing as well, how many rounds are you shooting?
Just the one.
That's fine. Look at it very regularly. It's got 3 bullets left in it. You can fire all 3, and when you do that, when you fire any firearms like that, you get an extra dice to your pool. But of course, once it's empty, it would take a whole action to reload it.
Well, we only have 3 bullets. No, I'm just going to...
Use the one?
One? Yeah, I'm just going to fire the one.
Fire the one. All right, do it.
Is it -1? Oh, that doesn't matter.
Nope.
I need 6s anyway. Oh, shit.
You try and do it, but the creature's lashing around too much. It's sort of, you shoot, and it sort of goes off next to the creature's head, but doesn't hit, unfortunately.
Pretty close from my head too.
Yeah, you sort of... you sort of move it out there, and... Okay, so you take, as it sort of swipes at you, you take 3 damage. As it sort of claws at you, try and get in it.
Okay. That's fine.
You've gone straight to mauled, haven't you?
Yes.
You sort of stagger back. This thing is ripped right through your lovely jacket and gone straight down, like across the chest. And you felt the nails go really deep, and blood starts pouring out profusely.
Right. Cool.
Jessica is going to. She is going to try and hit it with. She's going to try and grab a glass from the bar and shower it in its face, try and get it off you. And she is going to do that with a body fight thing. 5 dice, and she needs 5. Wow. Okay. That's quite a lot. You just see her smash this glass into the creature's face, and it almost goes straight through.
Oh.
Like her hand, it looks like this whole thing was disintegrating anyway, but her hand just goes through. It is still moving about, screaming, but it's pretty close to death. That was a pretty good move. I feel bad for taking your thunder now.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It being dead is the more important thing because I'm about to be.
Creature does hit her for 2 damage, though.
No.
Oh no.
But the other thing I will tell you guys now, just to remind you, you do have something called drama points, which you have free to start. You've got 4, haven't you?
I have 4.
4? And
I have teen angst.
And you've got how many drama points? It says at the...
3.
Okay. So using your drama points, basically, they're a limited pool and it's to do dramatic actions. So when you use one, you gain an additional dice to your pool, and you need 1 less on the dice to get success. So they're like, like story points in a way, that you spend them sparingly, but they will help you gain successes if you need to.
Should have used that with a gun.
But Thomas, it is your go.
Because I'm a man who likes his football,
Yes?
I, whilst kind of got one arm still on the stool trying to keep him in place, I'm going to go for a football kick and try and kick the evil dude's head.
You're going to kick the evil dude's head. That sounds great. That sounds like a body fight check for me, please.
Okay, so body is 4, not getting the +1, fight check, so I've got to get 5 or more. Baby needs to kick off somebody's head.
And remember you...
I've got 1 5.
1 5. All right. Creature is going to be wounded as well, so it gets... All right. So you only got 1?
Yeah.
The creature got 1 as well.
Oh.
So it cancels out. So you don't take any damage, but it doesn't take any damage. As you try to kick it, you sort of skim it because you don't want to kick Jessica, and she's trying to fight it off as well. But the creature's still underneath the chair, just clawing at you both.
Get in, Jessica.
But its go...
It's been tagged.
It's been tagged, and also it would have got disadvantage anyway because it's been tagged several times. So actually that would have hit. So...
Ooh.
So, to do damage, I guess it's unarmed fighting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's what's your body that you've got?
My body is 4.
4, so rounded down is 2.
2.
That's enough to kill it.
Woo!
So there's a moment where your football days come back. You just try and kick it, and his head explodes.
Oh.
You have gunk everywhere, and this horrible black ichor pours out, and just the whole thing's caved in, and the screams stop, and the whole sort of bar sort of settles down. That's the end of the combat.
That's not normal.
You both look dreadful.
I fall back against the bar and just kind of slide down onto my ass, bleeding
Mr. Simmons, have
everywhere.
you got any clean spirits?
And Mr. Simmons sort of goes, they're all looking at you shocked. Make a conviction resolve. Any one of you can do that.
Nah. 3 fails.
3 fails.
2 wins.
Lawrence, you are just trying to keep it all together. That your head is swimming with the hangover, with the drinks, with the police cruiser coming at your bar. Thomas, Mr. Simmons is in shock because you realise it looks like you've just beat up a defenceless police officer. You don't think he's seen what this man did. Like, it just looked like he leapt towards the young man, and then you both set upon him, with Jessica getting out a random gun from the police cruiser, and then Lawrence shooting at him. And Mr. Simmons comes over and goes, look, I don't want any trouble. Don't worry, I can vouch for you. You guys were helping out. Lawrence helped that lady earlier. And other people from the bar say, yeah, don't worry, we'll vouch for you. And you're like, but no, he attacked that young man, and the young man is bleeding out on the floor. Again, clearly dead. Rose starts to freak the fuck out behind the bar. She is aghast that this has happened. It's just survivor's shock, I guess. This whole thing's happened to me.
What is wrong with you? He attacked us. Look at me, for God's sake.
Simmons, the man, had gone insane. He was inhuman. He was He should have been dead.
I am really quite losing a lot of blood here.
Jessica will do a first aid check on you.
Oh, God.
It's like vodka on the wound.
Vodka and napkins.
She starts to...
The Northern Net Pack.
Nope. She sort of tries to... she tries to, like, squish down on the wounds and you just go... Ah! Yeah. And he goes, oh, sorry.
Don't poke the thing!
Rose tries to come over and she sort of, like, hands you, like, a bar rag that you can start to do and you can heal for 2 vitality. But she sort of looks at you both and says, you just killed that man! He's... Like, clearly... How did you do that?
He was already dead, Rose.
Make a passion panache roll to calm her down.
Passion panache.
I know, right? Didn't think I'd be saying those words tonight.
That's 1 success.
Mm-hmm. I think your presence, and you probably put both of your hands on her shoulders and you're saying, look, I'm telling you, he was dead.
There's something going on here, Rose. He wasn't a man. This is strange.
Hello. Bleeding. Quite a lot.
You can also perform a reason medicine check on yourself, Lawrence. Just if no one else is going to help you.
I would.
He can look after himself.
He's used to this.
Yeah.
So that's 2 successes, but they're 6s, so we'll roll them again.
Roll them again.
Oh, okay, just 2 successes.
You heal 3 vitality.
Oh, great. I am fine again. Oh, God, that was awful.
Lay on hands. Fine.
Can I do a bit of myself?
Yeah, of course, yeah. As you're speaking to Rose, so that's a reason medicine check.
So it's 3 medicine. I've got to get 6 or more. Damn it!
No, you're in the moment a little bit as well. But I'll say anyway, just so that you sort of take that moment to breathe in a little bit and you recover 2 vitality. Just because you're talking to Rose and you're trying to suss out the situation, so you're currently sort of at a moment where you're sort of getting yourself prepared.
I hop over the bar, grab a bottle of the more expensive vodka, grab one of the clean rags, empty bunch of the liquid onto it, not even caring what Mr. Simmons is doing.
What are you doing, Lawrence?
He looks awful. Walk over to my brother and go, deep breath, and press it on the wound.
All right, make a reason medicine check for me.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 medicine and 6. Nah, nothing.
Get off!
It burns! It burns. And the patrons start sort of like having hushed tones and sort of conversations around, but for now it looks like no one is going to stop you from doing anything, but it's...
Everybody stay calm. We'll figure out what's going on here, and we'll figure out what we're going to do.
It's all right. There are a few regulars. Let me. Okay. Can you do? This is a car. Can you figure out if there's a radio? I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't understand.
Okay, I'll without saying anything, because I don't want to admit that was a good idea. Go to the car and see if I can switch on the police radio to if there's any broadcast or anything that's going on, whilst keeping an eye on the outside if there's any windows. So
it came through the front, so the whole front of it is collapsed, as it were, so you can see out onto the street, and it's currently it's dark. It's sort of in the evening time. Can't hear anything just yet, but I'll make you roll for it. Thing to know is the front of the car is completely smashed up, so the radio, everything's gone, but you notice at the back of the car there is a trunk, and you know from good old policing that there may be weapons in the trunk, but it is currently locked.
Go back to the body of policeman, see if there's any keys.
Sounds good. Make a cunning perception check for me, please.
Okay, cunning, so I'm 3. I'm still wounded, so I don't get the +1. And perception.
It'll only be 1 difficulty for this, because you've got time to look at it.
No. Yes. 1 success.
1 success. Not on the body on the ground. You sort of go, and you go, well, he wasn't the driver, he was the passenger. So you sort of switch back, go to the policewoman that was in the car, and you just manage to, you can see, like, just there is the mangle sort of car key. You can see this sort of the fob on it. You press it and you hear click, click, and it boops open. And in it, you see there is a shotgun with 12 shells.
Ooh.
You can pick that up.
I'll pick that up, but try and kind of keep it under my coat, because I don't want to scare the...
Okay, make a cunning stealth roll for me, please.
Don't want to scare the locals too much. Oh god, this is not going to be good. This is something my brother should be doing. Can I use a bit of drama?
Yeah, of course you can, so yeah, and it's one less difficulty as well.
So I'm doing this in slow motion. That's why it's so dramatic.
Of course.
So 1 extra dice?
Yes, 1 extra dice and then 1 less difficulty as well.
Okay, so it's going to be... I need to get a 5.
You need to get...
Oh, cock.
Ah.
No 5s.
No, it looks very awkward under your arm, and the coat, it looks, elongated, and it sort of pokes out of the short coat. But everyone's still sort of too frightened to say anything. Like, you definitely get weird glances, as it clearly looks like you're just robbing this car. People don't know that you're a police officer off duty.
Have I got a badge on me? Would I have any?
Do you have a badge on you?
Would you be carrying a badge on your day off?
In cop films, they tend to, don't they?
You can. I'm not fussed either way.
Odd or even. Odd, I wouldn't have it. Even, I would. Odd, I don't have it on me today because I'm meeting my brother.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to lord over...
Policey.
You don't want to lord it over him.
Okay,
Fair
so...
enough.
Come down, yeah.
So, Lawrence, what are you doing at this point?
Okay, I am going to tuck the pistol in the back of my jeans,
Yep.
so it's out of sight, and I'm going to turn to the assembled shocked crowd and say, "Everyone, look, I know how horrible this looks, but you have to believe me. That my brother is a police officer. He knows
Hello.
he knows when someone is dead and when they're not, and that thing, whatever just happened." It was dangerous. It would have come after all of us one by one. We're not going to do anything to harm all of you, I promise.
Make a passion panache roll for me, please.
Okay, passion panache. Oh, I'm good at those. Alright, so that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5...
Oh my god.
6 successes.
Whoa! Where were those earlier?
I'm good at talking.
The crowd, yeah. The crowd...
Name their firstborn after me.
Because Rose is still a little bit on edge, but after you say... And Rose is sort of... I can vouch for him. He works here. But people sort of are calm, and they come forward and say, obviously, because you helped the lady from before, so thank you. Gosh, what's the world coming to? And they sort of discuss things like that. Yeah.
Simmons, can you turn the news back on?
And as he goes to do so, make cunning perception checks, both of you. And Jessica has been quite quiet in this time. She's just letting you boys sort out stuff. We'll also make one.
Sorry, Jessica. You're hogging the line.
It's fine, she doesn't hear anything.
1 success.
1 success?
Yeah.
1 success.
1 success. You both hear what sounds like... It sounds like a rumbling, and it turns into a roar. And because you're closest, Thomas, to the outside, you see and look up the street, and you count 10, 20, 30 people running towards you. And it sounds like the same sort of cry of pain or wailing that the police officer was doing, and they're heading straight for this pub.
Upstairs.
Get everyone upstairs now. Simmons, unlock the door. We need to get up now.
Okay. Simmons tries to sort of... he's like, well, what is it? What is it?
There's more coming. More
10,
What?
20...
dead walkers.
More than that. More of whatever this... Just open the bucket door, Simmons!
And this is when he brings out the large box of keys, and he starts trying to open them bit by bit. And some of the patrons start to look out, and they're like, oh my god, and they start running out of the pub. And you watching these creatures now, they're not walking or running, they're lumbering, and sort of some of them are on 4 legs, some of them are on 2, and it's just like... And you see in the night these sort of shapes grab onto these patrons, start biting down on them and ripping them apart. And whilst the majority of the horde sort of go past you, 2 of them stop by the police cruiser and look at you. And this is when you get a real good look at these creatures. They are sort of twitching and convulsing, but when they turn to face both of you abruptly, you note immediately that their eyes seem different. Their pupils seem to have grown to ellipse the rest of their eyes, turning them into pools of inky black. It reminds you of some sort of primal level of a shark, and every instinct screams imminent danger. What would you guys like to do? Simmons is still trying to get the keys to open to the room upstairs, but having no luck.
I'm going to run over to Simmons, grab the keys from him and start searching myself.
Okay, make a cunning perception check for me, please.
Lawrence, I think these junkies have had more drugs than you.
I'm going to use a drama point.
Go for it.
Okay, that's a 6. So 2 successes.
2 successes.
Hey.
Very good. You tear off these keys and you start searching through, and you finally what seems like an age, you finally find the key to open the door to the back room. And as you do so, Simmons pushes you out of the way, rushes in, and shuts the door. And the deadbolt goes across it.
Brother, we're fucked.
Simmons!
I pull the gun, turn around, and just point it at the thing, at one of the things.
One of the things? Alright.
Yeah.
I need you to roll for initiative again for me, please. How are you doing, Thomas, on health?
Still.
You're on
wounded.
2 of. No, you're on 2. Remember, you got 2 health back. Didn't you?
Yeah, I did say you got 2 health back.
Oh, I missed that, sorry.
It's okay, don't worry.
Okay, perception. Ooh, 3. 3.
3 successes?
Yes.
Good to know.
1.
Right, Lawrence, you are first up. What would you like to do?
Okay, so there are 2 of them, right?
Yeah, and they're sort of round the police cruiser just now. They're within range to run up and attack them if you wish to, but you do have your handgun, which you say.
Who is still in the pub? Is it Rose, Jessica, my brother, and I?
There is a couple more patrons who haven't managed to run out, and they are sort of cowering away. The only exit they could see was where the police cruiser came in, and now they can't escape that way. So they're sort of backing away from these creatures, and they're sort of turning their heads, snapping it between patrons.
I want to hop behind the bar and look for some sort of so this is a pub.
Yes.
I'm presuming
You know it very well.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to go to where they keep the knives.
Okay. Make another cunning perception roll, please.
So that's gonna be.
And that will be your action for your turn. You can't shoot or anything else.
That's fine.
Sure.
I'm looking for knives. 2, if possible.
Yeah, we'll see what you get.
Okay,
Whoa.
so that's 4 successes. 4 successes.
4 successes. You actually find 3 knives.
Great, I will take all of them.
Yep. And you're currently ducked behind the bar, 3 knives. Also you are technically doing it, make a cunning stealth check to see if they notice you jump behind the bar.
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa.
6, 6, 6.
2 successes.
2 successes. You did it such a smooth motion, you don't know if they've seen you or not.
Okay.
One of the infected is going to start working first, and it just goes straight for the nearest sort of prey, which is the woman you helped earlier. Just goes to her and tears into her. She didn't have a chance, just ripped in half, basically. But that is its go. Patrons start screaming, people start to rush, and it gets to a point where, literally within seconds, the chaos surrounds you and all the concept of order is falling apart. Friend from foe is becoming impossible to distinguish in the massive push of bodies. Everywhere you feel sort of clawing hands, screams of help mingling with shrieks of the infected. We'll go to Thomas.
Is there a way out?
Can I talk when it's not my turn?
No, we're gonna say no because it's quite quick. It's usually 3 seconds. These sort of combats are.
You've just seen me grab 3 knives.
Can I nab a knife off him?
Yeah.
Can I see one within range that I could...
Are you running up to it to attack, or are you trying to throw it?
I like our position behind the pub.
Yeah. Or
So-
you gonna throw it? All right. Do a
It says prowess...
ability
athletics.
athletics. Yeah, do that.
Ooh, I'm not good at prowess. Nope.
Nope. Just goes completely wide.
Into a dartboard.
Ooh. So range attacks. They function in the same manner of close attacks, but if the target does not use a ranged weapon as a response to attack, which it can't, you gain 1 automatic success on the roll.
Oh, cool.
So you've tagged it. It does have to move towards you to attack, so I'll do that. But yeah, so you do hit it for 1.
Oh, bro.
But it needs to attack you. So it's going to rush up to you as it sort of hits into it. It turns and faces you. Which one are you attacking, by the way? Are you attacking the one that has killed female patron, or the one that's sort of standing around about to attack?
About to attack.
Cool. Okay.
The one that's not distracted.
The one that is not distracted. Sorry.
Very good dice coming from the other end of the table.
That was
We're
2
just not
successes.
staying alive.
2 successes. This thing charges at you, and even though it is impaled, this sort of knife into it, doesn't seem to have done any damage, and it sort of slashes at you for 2 damage, and you are now in combat with it. But it has now been tagged. So, and it would go next, but it can't, because you've tagged it.
Whoa.
It's now Jessica's go.
Go on, Jess.
What would she do?
Get off Instagram.
Stop tweeting this!
She's going to grab a knife from you and try and stab the one that's next to you because it's within close range. So she will do that. So that was what was it again for a knife?
Prowess athletics.
Athletics.
1 damage.
And she'll take a drama point as well. Get it in. 1 success.
Nice.
But then the creature, that's the problem, the creature gets to have a response, but because it's already tagged, it gets 1 less. That one. Cancels out. So she goes to sort of stab it with another knife around the side, but it's taken aback by sort of moving its arms wildly, trying to sort of attack you, and she doesn't manage to attack it. But doesn't have its go. Top of the round, Lawrence, what would you like to do? You are behind the bar currently with only 1 knife.
I'm going to give my 1 knife to my brother.
Yep.
Say, don't throw this one. And while they're sort of engaged in melee, I am going to look for some sort of rear exit out the pub.
Perfect. It's going to be a cunning perception again.
Seems to be what I do.
Yep.
Right, cunning perception. So that's 5. Okay, so that's 1 6. Roll that again. 1 success.
1 success. In this desperate moment, you manage to free yourself from the press of bodies, and you're sort of looking around, and it seems hopeless. But you hear the piercing shriek of a fire alarm and the spray of sprinklers, and you look, and by the fire exit, you see a youth, and he sort of beckons to you desperately to come through.
Follow that youth.
The other 2 are still engaged in the melee.
Currently,
right?
yes.
Okay, how far away is this character?
Within running distance, like you'd be able to move to get there. And you are currently stealth as well, they have not seen you.
Yeah, but I don't want to leave my brother.
Would Lawrence lead his brother?
I don't know, because he finds him a spoil sport, but not like...
What would Lawrence do?
1 to 3, leave. 4 to 6, stay. 5, he stays.
Alright.
Please go halfway.
Then what I'm going to do is grab... is there like a bottle or something on the bar? Mm-hmm. Grab one of those and just try and crack the thing over the head, and at the same point scream, "Back exit! Youth!"
Youth! Alright.
Thingy!
That is a small improvised weapon.
Yeah,
so that's a body. There's a body fight.
Ooh, 1 success. 1 success.
So it's
We're in the club, apparently.
That's 2 successes. So you manage to smash it over its head, so it is distracted, but then again, a claw comes up and takes you for 2 damage.
Great.
But it is tagged and out of this order. But then the one by the door, which was tearing the patron apart, snaps up and sees all this happening. And it's going to go for the closest person, which was... it would have been Jessica, because she didn't come behind the bar. It's going to rush over and try and claw her. Ooh, that's quite a few 6s. Okay, 2 6s, and Jessica is going to respond.
We may have to leave Jessica.
She takes quite a bit of damage. She takes 3 damage. This creature goes and rakes down her side. Her whole arm is cut to ribbons. Blood starts pouring out, and she lets out this howling wail as this other creature comes against her. Thomas, it is now your go. And also, that creature's now tagged Jessica, so she is out of the order. So it's going to be you, and then the creature you're attacking, unless you attack it.
I thought that was tagged out of the order.
It is, correct. So it'd just be Thomas and it's back at the top of the round.
Can I try and push the thing off Jessica and kind of just push her towards the exit?
Exit's behind you.
Can I grab Jessica?
Yes. Yeah. So you're just trying to pull her towards the exit, is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll just do that. So do a body athletics check for me, please.
Okay. God damn.
My God, you are rolling shit tonight.
Thanks.
I'll say that for
Kicking
over
ones
here.
down, Fiona.
Well, you've been getting 6s and stuff. I've been getting 6s.
I'm supposed to be a cool policeman.
You are trying to drag Jessica away, but the creature's sort of in the way, and she's screaming, doesn't want to be put close to the creature and stuff, and you don't get anywhere with her at all. 2 creatures have been tagged, so they're out of their turn and have responded. So Lawrence, it's back to you at the top. What are you going to do? You can see they've seen where the door is, but they just don't seem to get past these creatures currently.
Okay, so my brother currently has his back to the exit. Can I do a similar thing? Can I just grab him and run?
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a body...
Conga line of grappling.
That's going to be a body athletics check.
Shit, I'm bad at those.
Remember, you've got drama
I'm
points.
going to use a drama point. So that'll be an extra die.
Yep.
And it's...
Less difficulty.
One less I've got to hit, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay, so that's 2. One of them's a 6. 2 successes.
2 successes. What I say is that you do manage to pull Thomas, but you will leave Jessica behind.
Okay.
So you manage to pull through the sort of the rain from the sprinklers. You manage to pull your brother to the exit. As you make it into the light of the street, the youth waits for a moment and slams the fire door shut. Almost immediately, you hear the pounding of the infected on the door and the screaming of the left patrons inside. The youth gives you a weak smile and then begins to run down the alleyway away from the street. What would you guys like to do?
Presume we follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even saying anything. I'm just going to keep my grip on Thomas's arm and keep running.
Both of you make body athletics check as you are trying to run away from the street and keep up with this man.
I fail.
I got 1 success.
1 success. So Lawrence, the adrenaline from the fight is starting to sort of come down.
Yeah.
You are panting. And Thomas, even you, as you're starting to run through the streets, this youth is getting away from you. And as you do, you sort of lose him in the maze of the alleyways. And you stop. And you're currently in the middle of North Greenwich. But you have a moment to sort of recalibrate and reflect on what has just happened. So what I will give you is you get 2 vitality back. You can make reason medicine checks on both of you to see what you get. I'll give you 1, to do that 1 check.
I'm fine. Can I use my check on him?
Yeah, but yes, I was going to say you can do it.
Pretty good.
But I'm on 4,
right,
so...
okay.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that you get to do it once, whether you do it to yourselves or you do it to
Then
one
I'm going
character.
to use it on him.
Cool.
Oh. Jesus
You
Christ,
always
David.
keep control of your dice.
Is that cunning medicine?
It is it's a reason medicine.
Okay.
1 success
1
here.
success, yeah.
1 success. 1 success.
1 success. So you gain back 2 vitality. There.
Hey!
And you take a moment just to deep breathe.
Poor Jennifer.
Jessica.
Who said that?
You are currently in some alleyways in North Greenwich somewhere. And both of you make cunning perception checks for me.
That is 2 successes.
Oh my god. Now you get the rolls in.
5.
Your police training kicks in.
Finally.
And you can hear in the distance the gradual sort of wails of sirens. And just beneath that, again, this rumbling, this almost sort of distorted screaming of more and more of these creatures. You both hear that.
We're all right.
Yes, what do we do now?
I just left her to die.
Don't worry about it now. Oh my god, we need to keep clear heads. Where do we go? Is this Greenwich as I know?
Yes, you know this place very, very
No,
well.
I don't.
You know this area very well.
I presume I do as well.
Yes, you both do.
Yeah.
You know your way about with no problem. What you do know, I think... Look, I think... Thomas, your apartment's nearby. And for some reason, you've got lots of guns in it. I can't tell it's American at all. Stupid.
Recent gun raid.
Yeah.
But there are choices. So you both know that Thomas's flat is nearby, and can be secured. You might want to try and contact friends. You both have cell phones. There's the authorities, perhaps, or you might want to do something completely different. Completely up to you.
We should
Head to my place?
Yes, and then we'll try and get in touch with see if make sure our parents are all right. Well,
Fosters.
yeah. we're half brothers.
Yeah. Couldn't write this stuff, could you?
So which parent do we share?
Doesn't matter.
I'm curious.
Let's say mum.
Right. Okay, we'll get there and then we'll ring mum.
Okay. Let's head off.
Will the Farrow brothers survive the night? Will they ever get out of London alive? Is it officially the end of the world? Find out next time on What Am I Rolling? The What Am I Rolling podcast was created, recorded and edited by me, Fiona Howat. This episode's players were David T. Cox and Sam Robbins. This episode's RPG was Sins, created by Miguel Tankard and published by First Falling Leaf. You can find out more about Sins and buy the core rulebook and introductory adventure, Dead City, on their website. That's www.sinsrpg.uk. The theme music was 8-Bit March by Twin Musicon of twinmusicon.org, licensed under a Creative Commons 4.0 license. If you want to find out more about the podcast, check out the website. That's www.wairpodcast.com. Fancy getting in touch? Email the podcast at oneofmyrollingpodcast@gmail.com. Finally, follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at WAIR_podcast for latest news on upcoming episodes. And remember, adventurers need not apply.